and welcome. This week I have mostly been growing tomatoes, basil, pumpkins and courgettes. Come into my Make Do and Mend caravan greenhouse and come and check my plants out. Here are some courgettes that I potted on a few weeks ago. They're coming along beautifully. They've got these lovely flowers coming along where the courgettes will grow from. These are desperate to get into the ground, so after the rain I will be doing that this week. We've got some more pumpkins here, and then round the corner we have more courgettes, aubergines and basil, butternuts, potimarrons, French Japanese pumpkin, and then you can see loads of tomatoes. Now these were the tomatoes that you saw me pricking out and potting on when I was doing the lasagna layering composting bathtubs. They love the warmth that the caravan gives plus the humidity, so they've been in here for about 3 weeks now. They're really comfortable. And then down here we've got some aubergines. They're coming on nicely, and once they're outside in the heat they will really put on inches in days. And then round here we've got some runner beans, which look as if we've had a bit of a munch going on there by a slug. You see that slug damage. So quite often you need to look at the bottom of your pot because that's where the slug will be hiding. I've just picked up this little slug. I wanted to show you. These are the bad guys. This slug was on this leaf this morning, and look at the damage he's done. Now, if left unattended, he will munch through all my lovely beans here, and we won't have any. Hello, welcome back to my bathtub garden. Today I want to chat with you a little bit about pest control. After going through the plants in the caravan the other day, and we saw that big slug, I thought it'd be a perfect time to show you a few top tips as to how to protect your tender little plants from Mother Nature's predators. Thankfully, we've just had some chicks hatch from the incubator, which is really exciting, which I'll show you later. You can have a look at their little babies. But I've kept the shells, and by just crunching, I can just put that around the plants, and that will act as a deterrent for the slugs, because the slugs will not want to walk over that, and hopefully it will stop them from having a munch in my little seed garden here. These are, what have I got in here? I've got some ozay, the aromatic herb, and also some radishes. So putting that eggshell there hopefully will deter the slugs, and also the minerals from the eggshell will nourish the soil over time as well, so it's a double bonus. So wood ash is also really quite useful in the garden for many reasons, whether it's putting it into your lasagna layering composting beds, or around your roses. So a little bit of a sprinkle around your roses is very good, but you can also put it around the edges of your vegetable patches where you want to create like a barrier. So you just get like a handful like this and sprinkle it all along and create a line, a barrier around a flower bed. Again, slugs don't like walking on these. It's uncomfortable for them, so it creates a natural barrier for them. However, you don't want to use too much, because if it's too much it can become too rich on the ground and can actually damage your plants. Okay, so just a little sprinkling as a border, perfect. I've got some coffee grits here. That's also something else you can put around your tender plants. And if you have a random old pillow that has seen better days, some feathers. These are wonderful to put around your tender salads when they go out, also around your strawberries. Again, slugs don't like crawling over them. They get stuck. Woof! I think it's all going a bit crazy. I'm just going to put that down. Suddenly it's snowing in the middle of April. Anyway, you can put those around the base of your plant. I'm going to put some around here so you can see what I would do. So I'm going to put these around my strawberry plants. Try not to do it on a very windy day, obviously. Now the good thing about feathers, it's a protein. So when it breaks down and rots, it's going to nourish the soil. But just by putting those feathers around the plants, it's going to help protect them from slug damage. Yeah. So following on with pest control, just have a quick look here over at the beans that we planted out last week. I put some bottles over them in order to keep them warm, protect them from the mice. The humidity is building up quite nicely in there. However, the plant next to it, you see I planted out this courgette, and you can see here that courgette has really been munched. So what I've done, I've created a beer trap. A friend of mine, Chris, does homebrew beer, and he had a little bit of beer that wasn't his most successful brewing, which is rare because he's a genius at brewing beer. So he gave me some of his old beer. So I've just put it into a bottle, and I'm putting it on an angle, 30-degree angle maybe, into the ground by the side of the plant. Come and have a look a little bit closer so you can see. So the slug is going to go in there because he's going to smell the beer. I think that's amazing. He's going to go down in there, and then he's going to drown in the beer at the bottom and not be able to come out. I'm going to set a couple more of those traps here. So here's the wonderful beer. So I'm just going to put a little bit into the bottle. That should do. I'm going to put it further down in this bed so that it protects these plants. I've noticed these plants have had a bit of a nibble too. Thankfully, these leaves are so large that a little bit of a nibble like this, the plant will still survive. But when the plant is really tiny and a seedling, if it has that much damage, the plant won't survive. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to do a few more around the farm and see if we can trap some of these slugs before they eat all my strawberries. Here's one of my main crops of peas. They've all nicely bushed out and relatively undamaged. But that's because I put some peas down here, and as you can see, they've been decimated, absolutely ravaged. So sometimes you need to sacrifice a few to save the many. As you can see over here, look at that, that's all surviving in flower, beautiful. So just as I've been videoing this morning, I want to show you, this is a little slug that I've just found in the ground. So it's a good time to come out first thing in the morning when it's cooler, and also last thing at night, because that's when the slugs will be out. So try and catch them before they eat any more of your garden. Here we can see the radishes coming along, so you can see how the eggshell has really worked. And in the ground you can see those beautiful jewels shining out, big, bright and red. A few days' time, won't be long, and we'll be eating those. Taking a look at the strawberries, you can see what I've done here. I've got a covering of old hay or straw, whatever, dry grass, whatever you can use, around this area. And then nearer the fruit, underneath here, I've bulked it up even higher, so that the fruit is high up off the ground, so that the slugs can't get it. I've also put orange peel, eggshell. I've got a beer trap not far from here as well. Basically, to protect your strawberries, you have to just chuck everything, every option to try and keep the slugs away. We've had a lot of rain recently, so the moisture is locked underneath here in the soil, which is great. But sometimes your dry matter on top, your grasses, will absorb it, and so it's a perfect breeding ground for slugs. So hence you need to make sure you've got some on the ground here, but also lifting your fruit off the ground. Really important, otherwise the slugs will just eat everything. The culprit slug, found him in the morning, so I'm just going to pick him up and I'm going to pop him in my beer bottle that's just there is the trap. I've got that one's not, you can see some have gone in there, but ideally you want the bottle on a slant, and then that way they will crawl on in. But it's moist overnight, it's early morning at the moment, so look, the slugs are all out. So basically, if you want good strawberries, your job is to get up early and pick them off if you're going to be organic. Another thing you can get is nematodes. It's a liquid parasite that you put into the ground, which only affects the slugs, and it slowly kills them off over a couple of years. I haven't done it personally, but let's see, look, there's some strawberries coming along, almost ready, almost. They also really love orange peel, so I've put some orange peel around some plants. So lots of different techniques, you just have to do trial and error depending what's going on in your garden. Good luck. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning about all the different techniques you can use to protect your garden. I've just come back to pick some strawberries just now, and it is raining, so I've just come out to have a look to see if I can find any more slugs, and just take a look down here at how the half-cut orange is a great deterrent. This slug is quite happy on the orange, leaving my strawberries, which I've just picked from this plant, well alone. I've also put out some pineapple scraps, which I had left over from making pineapple beer. So that's obviously a trap well worth working. I'm just going to pop him in my reservoir. So I just hope you have some fun this week going around your garden. It is forecast to be wet a lot this week, so you really need to come out every morning and every evening with a bucket and catch those slugs. Have a good week, everybody. Write your comments down below if you've enjoyed this. If there's any top tips that you'd like to share with our other viewers, that would be great. Bye-bye now.